Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of The Soul of the Unexplained. Today, I am your host. I am Roger Stokes, and I am going to cover in 5 minutes or less, fingers crossed, The Secret of Skinwalker Ranch, Season 5, Episode 4, Bad Taste. So, as we start out, we have Ben Woodruff, who's a biologist with the Hutchings Museum Institute in Lehi, Utah. So the first thing is that the team had him look at a sample piece of wood, and basically what Ben said is that this piece of wood burned without combustion. It's called pyrolysis, and you have to have an extreme heat source to actually get that to happen. So if you were going to be watching it, if you were actually watching it burn, you would not see any flame or anything. You just see the wood getting charred as it goes across. And so very, very interesting. This, where they pulled that piece of wood out from the previous episode in Dry Gulch Creek, is near where their Caleb and Dragon had seen that silver orb or UAP on the game camera back in 2022. And near that fence post, they had pretty much the same thing. So very interesting that there is a coincidence there with both pieces of wood. And definitely, I think more analysis will have to come on both of those to really try to figure out what could generate that type of heat source just to make that happen, that burn without the combustion. So definitely looking forward to seeing if there's more pieces of wood or fence or whatever out there that shows similar type of combustion happening like that. So next up is Ben goes into the canine sample that they did find in the previous episode. And now this has to do around with some exciting news where, if you remember in the episode, they talk about the Sherman family who owned the ranch back in the 90s and stated that a dire wolf attacked their cattle. They were able to shoot the wolf close up, point blank range, with very high caliber ammunition. Like that, I think they had a 30-06 and a Magnum that they tried to shoot the dire wolf with. It didn't do a lot of damage, and then once the wolf took off, it disappeared. So there has been that mythology around a dire wolf being on the property, or dire wolves being on the property, and people seeing them and then having that disappeared. So what Ben did is he laid out, after having, because he's a biologist, after having studied the jaw sample that they gave him, he showed that they basically, the lower jawbone of a coyote jaw, and the lower jawbone has a smaller bulge. They get into the gray wolf, has a larger. Anyway, basically Ben said that this could even be either a dire wolf with a sample that has dire wolf in it, or it's a juvenile or young dire wolf. And they will be doing a follow-up DNA sample. So super exciting. They can't say for certain if that is a dire wolf or not, but the evidence lends that, the physical evidence lends credence to that mythology that it is actually true. So moving right along, next up is they bring in Dr. Jan Franke. He's an international GPR expert from Geolytics. Basically, he uses a GPR device, and they're going to go and try to get some more data around the triangle area to really see if they can get some coordination of and some more evidence of previous surveys that have been done there, where there's the magnetic anomaly and evidence of tunnels. So they set up there, he and Caleb, and then the rest of the team, Travis and team, they're actually a mile and a half over in the East Field. And what they were going to do is they were going to launch rockets up, which they did. And they launched 2 rockets. So it's really interesting is that when they launched these rockets, Jan's GPR device registered an anomaly above the triangle about 5 to 10 seconds after each launch. showing something right around that 30-foot area in the air. So again, just more evidence that there is something that is not visible to the naked eye, right up in the mesa area. And so initially, or after that too as well, they took a look at the high-speed photography that they had going on. Again, there were multiple UAPs that appeared during that experiment with the rockets firing, and showing these UAPs right around where on the triangle there was the lack of LiDAR data, which leads to, again, the theory of the Lorentzian wormhole. So again, a lot more evidence just backing up some of the hypothesis there of a portal being on the ranch. After that, Jan's GPR experiment did show that there were some of the same anomalies below the ground. And so they made the decision that they were going to drill into the triangle, and they bring out a crew from Snowshoe Drilling, and they are going to take a core sample. Their friend Jeremy brings us the drilling equipment. They punch down into the triangle. So after drilling in there, they look to have punched into a void. And they make the decision that they're going to try to drill down even further, about 20 to 30 feet further. After this, Brady from Snowshoe states that, and he's the guy that is really running the drill. He has a metallic taste in his mouth. And Thomas makes the decision to pull him off there because of the high strangeness of that. There shouldn't be anything causing that. So they get Brady off the ranch, and because Brady's the only one that can actually use that drill, it stops the experiment and the drill. So as they're talking about that, Eric Bard actually touches the drill himself, and soon thereafter he begins to get a metallic taste in his mouth, and again, Dragon makes the decision to remove him off the ranch. They just want people to be safe. So quickly after that, Travis and Thomas, they want to see what would be there. So they're looking around, they're touching the drill, and realize that the drill is actually conducting electricity and pushing a current through there. So Travis does a quick experiment and does a test, and said that there shouldn't be anything other there than a tiny fraction of a volt, if anything. And if they did get something there, then it would be something very strange underground near the triangle. The experiment did yield more than half of a volt, and this should not be possible unless they drilled into something that has an artificial current being generated. And so Travis did say, or Dr. Taylor, the voltage is 10 times the amount that it should have been. And at this point, they don't know what is causing the electricity. So after this, the team needs to make sure everyone involved in the experiments is okay, and then they need to regroup to decide on what the next steps will be. And that, my friends, is episode 4, again, called Bad Taste. Again, a lot of stuff happens in that episode. If you haven't seen it, please take the time to go and view it. It's a great episode. It brings up a lot more questions of what's beneath the triangle there. I think we're going to see a lot more digging happening. And what do you guys think? Is when you drill into the ground, is it cursed? Do bad things happen? Stay tuned. I think we'll find more about that. But I'm glad to see that they're always being safe with that. And I definitely hope to see additional experiments on finding out what truly is above the triangle, and could it be that portal. So again, I'm going to have to say this was not a 5-minute episode, but we got around 9-10 minutes here. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and look forward to the next episode next week. And that, my friends, is it. Keep your eyes on the skies, and again, signing out of here, I'm Roger from the Soul of the Unexplained. See ya.